Okay, so what kind of situation do we currently have on NZD CHF? Now, from a monthly perspective, we have a market that clearly is rejecting multiple times a very strong monthly support. It was extremely strong support here, very strong support here, again support here. You can see the huge rejections, which every time the market has shown to this level. And again, here, the market aggressively rejected the zone. Now, currently, the market not only rejected its zone, but it also went to test this very strong previous support here, which is now turned resistance at this area. So currently, the market is bounded inside of this support and the resistance that it has here, both from a monthly perspective. Let's go down on the weekly and see what kind of situation we have on the weekly time frame. Now, on the weekly, if we remember, we wanted to see the market shift away from this area. Why did we want to see the market shift away from this zone? Because clearly the market had approached the monthly resistance, but not only that, it had approached it creating a W formation, so increasing the probabilities that we would definitely see a shift away from the area. And if you capitalized on this move to the downside, great job. Now, the completion zone of the pattern usually is the neckline. So in this case, we can still expect some possible downside movement to go and reach our downside target at the previous resistance, which is now turned support at this level. What we can also notice is that the market created this strong impulse. After an impulse, you want to see a retracement. But if you want to measure this retracement, what are you supposed to be doing? Taking your Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse. And what you can see is that the 0.618, the golden ratio, is lining up very nicely with the previous resistance, now turn support, and we can definitely expect a retracement to the zone before the continuation to the upside. Let's go down on the daily and see what kind of situation we have from a daily perspective. Now, on the daily, what we can see situation is a little bit more simple to read. Why? Because on a daily time frame, we can see that the market has actually already tested the previous resistance, which is now turned support, and rejected it to the upside. But at the same time, the market also has previous daily support here, now turned resistance, which is still holding. Now let's go and see what we have from a COT perspective on the NZD and what we have from a COT perspective on the CHF. So how are hedge funds positioned on these currencies? Now what we can see from an NZD perspective is that things are getting quite bullish. We currently are sitting at minus 15k net positions from the minus 20k that we had here. So we went from having way more shorts than longs from an institutional perspective on the NZD to having more or less the same amount of longs and shorts, with an additional 1.7k longs added with the last report. Now, if we go and check the structure, we can see that currently here we have a strong level of previous support, not a resistance that is holding. Until this level will hold, the market can easily continue lower. But if the market will break in some way this zone here back to the upside, then what will happen? All this previous resistance will be turned support at this area. And at that point, by knowing that on the monthly time frame we're rejecting a major low, and by knowing that hedge funds have been adding a lot of longs on the NZD without adding many shorts on the CHF, actually the opposite CHF, we can see that it has been transitioning more to the bearish side. We can definitely expect, if the area will break to the upside, that this level will be turned new support. And how we will be approaching this situation with students. We will be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice long with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the upside and continuation to the upside for a nice risk to reward trade. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.